Welcome to Trustee Talk. I'm Dick Murgatroyd. We thank you for joining us today. And with us today is our newest trustee for Anderson Township, Dee Stone. We're going to get a chance to meet her for the first time. So welcome to Trustee Talk.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you.
Thank you.
We've been waiting for you to come.
You have, and I'm finally here.
And you finally are
I'm
here.
finally
You
here.
know, we meet the other Andrew and Josh. You know,
They gave me a break. They let me do the later in the
Oh, is that what they?
cycle.
Oh, they
Yeah,
did.
get my
You
feet under me, I
got
think.
your feet under you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you know, this is a big undertaking, I think, for anybody that enters into public office. I admire and I was fortunate enough to serve myself, and I know what that's like, and I admire anybody that does it. And I think that no one appreciates how much time and effort you all put in to do what you do. Are you enjoying it so far?
I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. I've learned. We have a very, very good staff here at the township. The staff people are excellent. They're very dedicated. So that makes our job way easier, is to know that they have it covered, and then, you know, they bring things to us, but it's already been researched, you know, so that makes it easy.
Well, I think I can appreciate that, because that does mean a lot, I think, and because it's overwhelming, I think, when you first start out, because there's so much to try to take in and try to kind of mull it through and see where, and there's a million things that
you don't know.
you don't know.
And you don't know what you don't know until you get in there. It's like, oh.
Yeah, really.
Well, and it's the truth. And luckily, I started January 1st, and like the third week of January was the Ohio Township Association's conference in Columbus. So I was able to go to that and sat in sessions every day and learned a lot there. It's like, okay, these people have been doing it, and they know you don't know. So they, you know, give you a little bit of history and background and, you know, what you can do, what you can't do, and so that was very helpful.
It is.
That was very helpful.
It just takes time.
Yeah, it does.
You know,
It does.
and if you don't let it, I think you're, you know, when you get there, you want to jump in and be fixing everything that you thought you wanted to fix, and then you suddenly realize that's.
Oh. Yeah.
I guess I could wait on that.
Right,
for a while.
or it's out of our control.
Well,
and
yeah.
There's certain things you think, oh, why not this? It's like, oh, well, that's not us.
No.
I wish it were us, but it's not.
No.
And that makes it like, oh, shoot, I didn't know that. So.
Well, it is. I remember running for office, and you were listening to all the promises that people made, and then sitting there, that there's no way in the world they're ever going to be
that
able,
they can't deliver.
that they can deliver all of the things that they.
We're seeing a lot of that right now.
Oh,
in
we
politics.
certainly
It's
are.
like,
I
oh,
want to tell you.
But
I mean,
you know.
it is. I just watch and I think, oh my goodness, what a rude awakening that they're in for. You know, but it's. I think the beautiful thing about you all is you're a small. You don't have a lot of people.
Right.
Which I think has got to be enjoyable. Because you're not dealing with, you know, you got 3 trustees, and so it's much easier to find consensus and like you said, a good staff.
Right.
When you're dealing with legislatures, where in Kentucky we have 100 in the House, and you know, getting 100 people to agree on anything.
Yeah, exactly, and that's a whole different ballgame.
Going to happen.
Yeah.
And you have to learn very quickly it's going to take time. I always said it was a blessing, probably, that government moves as slowly as it does, or we would be in such trouble, you know, because, you know, there's some legislation comes along and you think, oh, thank goodness.
Right.
You know, and some of it's been there for years, and you think that's probably where it belongs.
Right.
Don't move it any further than that is. So, but I hope you're enjoying it.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that it's local. I love this community. That's why I ran in the first
Well,
place.
it is.
It's a wonderful community.
It
We're
really
very
is.
fortunate.
I will tell you, I am so impressed. I mean, just since I've been doing this show, I'm so impressed with this community and the quality of the people that serve, and also in the product that results. It is really a neat place to live. And when I look at what you all are doing and what all the accomplishments, and the great fiscal responsibility that you all take seriously.
Yeah, we do. We do take it very seriously.
And you really make it. I mean, you look around, and there's just, I mean, so much going on that it's amazing.
Yeah.
It really is.
And we're proud of that.
You should.
Yeah.
I work here. My office is here, but I love coming because I every day there's something new going on, but you all are doing a great job.
Thank you.
Any particular things that you came into when you came into this that you really want to make? What project that you really want to work on that you have on your agenda?
Well, one of the things I ran on was more collaboration between the parks, the schools, and the township, and I see that happening, and that was happening before I got into office. But I think we can do more of it.
Mm-hmm.
Which I have good relationships with the people from all those entities, and I think that may help. As executive, I'm also executive director of the Forest Hills Foundation for Education, so I know a lot of people from the schools well. I worked with them on foundation stuff, so I think that relationship can help.
Sure.
And what do we want to do? I'm working on the comprehensive plan. That's one of the things. As we start in January, and one of the first meetings, we decide, okay, what trustee is going to be the liaison for what particular committees. And one I was assigned to was the comprehensive plan. And that, and as we have done this in the past, but we have someone for the park district, someone from the school district. And then 28 community members who asked that they be included, and we got a big response. So they're going to be some of them we could only pick 30 because we're trying to keep it manageable. But we will look at what do we want our community to look like in the next 20 years. So the parks, the schools, they'll have input into that. What kind of businesses do we want here? What kind of walkability do we want between our parks and between our schools? And how can we all work on that together? So that's the 20-year plan. This is the third time it started back in, I think, 2005, 2006. Mm-hmm. And then we updated it in 2011, so we're updating it again. So I'm excited to be part of that. And that's, it's something that interests me. And like I said, what do we want it to look like? What kind of businesses? What kind of, are there park expansion? If there's a piece of property that's sitting there, how do we want that developed? What do we want on that? That'll all be part of this plan. So.
Well, and I think that's probably part of the secret of their success. The success in any community, I think, is that you do create some sort of a guideline that helps you as things go forward. Because I think the communities that do not have that, it becomes kind of a helter-skelter system where things are, and then all of a sudden you end up with something. You go, how did that get here? I mean,
well, and
where did that come from?
Right.
And then it changes a lot of things. And I look at what's going on, and I mean the list is enormous. This summer is going to be a busy summer in Anderson Township.
Yes,
I mean,
there
are so many projects that are coming to fruition this year or in the next couple of years, but we'll see so much activity, especially here on Beachmont. I mean,
that's that whole area between 5 Mile and Wolf Angle. Well, that's a big empty lot right now, and that's all going to start.
Yeah.
The theater in the back. If people drive by now, there's a big, huge wall there, and that'll all be, by the fall, I believe that's going to be
I
finished.
think so,
The
yeah.
continuous flow intersection, that's all going to be starting. It's going to be very busy,
Which should be interesting.
which should be very interesting. It should be very interesting. I've been told to go online and look at it in action because it's been explained to me numerous times. I'm like,
know.
I don't get it. I'm sorry, I don't get it. I think it's a misnomer, though. It's the continuous flow.
Yeah.
You still do stop.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, but-
I think that's what has people confused because I still have not, I guess, figured it out necessarily. But they assure me it's going to work and
Right,
it's
right.
wonderful.
Right, and it hopefully will. But I mean, that is a busy intersection.
Oh, it's a
Anything
terrible.
to help, and there's been a lot of accidents.
It's
We
a
all
terrible
know that.
intersection. I mean,
Anything that's going to help that is good. We're going to have to. It's going to be a little painful
it will be.
as it's being built. It's going to be, if you can avoid that intersection, you probably should.
Which will be tough to do.
Which would be tough to do. You got to learn your back roads in
just
Anderson.
gonna
We'll all see
say,
new things.
gonna
It's like, oh, this is
I'm gonna
a
have to
pretty
get my
road. I didn't-
GIS
yeah,
out there.
exactly.
To figure out where I'm going, but I think that, but I think when people see that, they don't realize how much work has gone into all of that planning, and that didn't just happen.
Years of work.
It's been
Years and
years and
years
years
of
of
work.
work.
Right.
And of thought and so and I guess determining use of space basically, and now it's starting to happen, but I don't think, like I said, anybody appreciates all the work that people prior to you
Right.
have done and have gotten it to this point. So it
And that's a lot of staff time and effort, and they are very dedicated to those projects and making them work as
it's going to
best as
be
possible.
exciting.
Yeah, it is going to be
Exciting summer.
It's gonna be
Yeah, I mean,
exciting.
all up and down the corridor.
Yeah,
And if I understand it correctly, there's really going to be some work even done on the corridor as far as the transportation
Yes.
department's concerned.
Yes.
That they're going to do some work
Like
to try
the,
to.
last driveways coming
Yeah.
in, exchange the cutouts or whatever they call them.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is good. I mean,
It
there
is.
are ways to get out to lights if you learn to use them.
Yeah.
Like there's certain businesses you pull out and it's like, oh, this is a little scary. If you go back around and come out to a light, it may take a second longer, but it's way safer.
It is, and I think that's because that's usually where the multitude of accidents
Right.
occur, is trying to get out onto Beachmont if you don't have a light, and,
Right.
and it is it's a demolition derby sometimes,
it is.
and but you just have the traffic is so heavy, that it's hard for that not to happen. But I
Right.
think with the changes they're going to make,
Yeah,
it's
and
going
the
to make
changes
it.
are good, and sometimes it's just changing that mindset. It's like, oh, instead of turning out left here, if we
Yeah.
go out around and make a left at the light, that's going to be safer for everyone concerned. And and you have to think about it. You have to think.
Yeah, you do.
make that conscious decision, like, oh, I'm gonna. And I've been doing that at one particular business I am at a lot. It's like, oh, if I go out the back way, I can get
Oh, yeah.
to a light. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes. I think learning where they are
Right.
in relation to where you are
Right.
helps make a difference.
Right.
But it's an exciting time. I mean,
It
I
is.
think it's
It
an
is.
exciting time.
We have
to be-
that. I'm working, like as I said, the comprehensive plan. Then another committee I've been assigned to is the Betterment and Beautification, which, as you can see, Anderson looks way better than 10 years ago
Yes.
than it did 10 years ago. 5 Mile, the 5 Mile corridor coming up from Clough in between, well, both directions. With the trees in the middle and the nice landscaping and the banners. I mean, it's way more attractive, and that's what that committee's about. And we met actually just the last week, I guess it was, maybe looking at some options for public art. And because I love public art. That's just, I think when you see public art, no matter where you are, it inspires you, even if you're
It
just
does.
driving by
It does,
So,
yeah.
so there's some options for public art. We'd have to get some maybe donors to pay for it, but that's something that's out there.
But
so we're
but
looking
that's
at it.
good too, because there's going to be some even there. I know around that project there, Wolf Angle and
Yeah.
Beachmont, there's really going to be some
There is. That's going to be.
effort
That
with-
corner is going to
with-
be.
that's going to
really
be
nice.
phenomenal.
That is going to be phenomenal. When that's done,
Yeah.
that's going to be beautiful.
It
And
really
I'm very
is.
excited about that.
And I think a lot of it's going to do with the streetscaping and that goes along with it, and
Right.
and I think every improvement that people are making along Beachmont that's become part of their improvement also, as I've noticed, that some more greenery,
Right.
a little more softening of the,
Right.
it's not
I'm
so.
just in front of where Kroger's and Wolf Haven goes
Oh,
now,
yeah.
that island in the middle with the
Oh, yeah.
landscaping
Oh,
in
yeah.
it. That makes a huge difference.
It makes a lot of difference,
Yeah.
it really does, so.
So.
Well, you're doing fun things.
Oh, I am doing fun things. That, and then my other committee is the Street Tree Committee, which we have a lot of dedicated people in this township who love trees. And, trees are good for our environment, they're good for our health, they're good for, they just make it more attractive, they're good for home values, and there's probably maybe 12, 15 people on this committee. And we were at a meeting 2 nights ago, and these people know trees. I know an oak from a maple. That's pretty much about it. I don't know very much, but they have recommendations on, what you should plant in your yard. We're trying to get more diversity, and it's been enlightening for me, especially because we did a great tree contest, which this was the first year we did it. So we asked for nominations for the best tree. A beautiful, beautiful tree. If you see a tree that you think is beautiful, take a picture and you can enter. We'll be announcing the winner of that at Arbor Day, which is in April.
Oh, okay.
And then, but this is the first year, so we had we had maybe 10 nominations. Next year, we hope to grow the program. But since I've been looking at this on the committee, now I see beautiful trees all the time. It's like, oh, look at that tree. Oh, so it's fun to pay more attention. We have
Well, it is.
Yeah, and we really do. We're blessed that people, 20 years ago thought of doing green
Yes.
space, thought of making trees. I mean, there was a lot of good planning that went into that. So there are green spaces, dedicated green spaces, and we're lucky to have them.
Well, you are, and you've also preserved them. I think
Yes.
I think that's another thing. I think that, and you're looking at the parks relationship
Right.
in schools now, but I mean the fact that I think that's a big attraction to a community. Especially I think now. I mean, I think it always has been, but I think more people are interested in space where they can get out and can enjoy
Right.
and don't have to go a long way to do it. And you all have done a good job, I think, of creating those kind of spaces, and it does soften the whole look of a community.
Right. No, it
I
definitely
think,
does.
for sure.
Yeah.
And so that's
Yeah, and we're lucky because we have a lot of mature trees, and as those, as a tree dies, there's funds there to plant a new one.
which is good.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Which is great. So.
Yeah. Well, well, you picked all the fun things.
I did.
Didn't you pick anything that wasn't fun?
I got all the fun ones. They're doing, other stuff, but I'm like, and these are the things I'm interested in, so.
Well, good for you.
It worked out well.
That'll make
Yeah.
it even more fun.
Yeah.
I did want to talk to you a little bit about the news on the Anderson Senior Center.
Yes,
Can
the
you give us
senior
an
center,
update on
that
what's-
is, yeah.
what's happening there?
As we know today, next week it could change, but as we know today, what happened was Senior Independence was the company that was running that for us. We own the building, the Anderson Senior Center, where it's located down on Beachmont Avenue. But we contracted them to run the facility. They, I think, leased it from us, and then they had brought in their own employees to run the classes. And well, they let us know in February, it's been about a month ago, that they were basically getting out of that business.
Oh.
Yeah, so they didn't want to renew their contract. We were all set to start renegotiating with them for the next year, and they said, no, we're not going to do that anymore. So now, there's been a lot of, I know, seniors that have been, concerned, because that's a lot of people go there and
Oh,
they
yeah.
use it, and there's bridge clubs and tap dancing class, and and people get meals there. So the Meals on Wheels is separate. That's through the Council on Aging, and the transportation is through the Council on Aging. Those will definitely not go away. What happens there, we're talking to other entities to see if they want to come in and run it. Maybe, some of those classes will be moved to other facilities. We don't know. But you're exploring all options right now. And believe me, the staff, we take it very seriously. We know there's people concerned, and we are looking at it and trying to explore our options now to see
Well, because
where's the best place to end
that's
up.
a tremendous service for the community, for the seniors in the
Oh, yeah.
community, and it does get a lot of usage, and it's a great location because it's
Right.
centrally located and
Right.
easy to get to, and I think for a lot of people that are reach that level in life, it's their one exposure to be getting out.
Well, it's their social life.
And it's their
Right.
social life.
Right.
And when you don't have that,
Right.
that really is a big loss.
Right. And we understand that. So we're
Well,
looking
you own the
and
building.
trying-
I mean, you all own
We
the
do
building.
own the
Yeah,
building.
so the
We do
building
own
is
the
still,
building.
yeah, so
Right.
the building's
Right.
still there. So it's
So
just
the
a matter
building
of
is still
finding.
there. It's like, can we bring someone in, or, I don't know what's going to happen to it, but we, like I said, we're exploring all options, and we have the community's best needs in mind. So
Good,
yeah.
good. But the meals will continue.
Meals will continue.
And
Meals on Wheels
transportation,
will
yeah,
continue
will
for
continue.
sure, how it is. And then the transportation
Okay.
is the same thing. Yeah,
Okay, so just a matter of getting someone else in there to,
right.
well, there surely's got to be somebody out there that,
Yeah, we hope so.
I would think there would
We
be.
hope so.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, because those are, they've become more important, I think, as time goes on. I know in our business, there's so many of them that are stuck in their homes unless they've got, somebody can take them somewhere.
Right.
Like that they can enjoy a day and their social, like you said, it's their social,
Right.
becomes their social life. And for many of them that are alone, that's their only,
Exactly.
contact with other people and that have like, issues and,
Right.
and like
Right.
concerns.
I
So-
mean, yes, it's good to get out if you can.
Oh,
If
yeah,
you're
my gosh, yeah. I
healthy
mean,
enough, it's good to get out, or people come into your house like through the Meals on Wheels.
Yeah.
At least that's some interaction, which is a good thing.
Well, hopefully it'll get settled down and get.
We hope so. Very
Yeah.
soon. And
Yeah,
we're working
really.
on it. So it's just a matter of time to find out what's the right fit. So,
Good.
So,
We'll
yeah.
keep our fingers crossed
Yes,
on
we
that
will.
one.
We all will.
Beach Acres, we've talked about on, I think, probably every
Yes,
one
it's
of our
been
programs for the
for the last year. I think.
year. I think
Yeah,
that has always
yeah.
been a, and last time I talked, I think when Andrew was on, we talked briefly about it. I mean, is anything new happening with it, or is it still kind of just?
Well, what happened more recently is Beach Acres decided that it was revisiting its needs. So, there was a contract to purchase it, and then that didn't seem to work out. There were some problems with it. So now Beach Acres has basically said, we need to look at all of our needs because they're growing, they're expanding, what's the best for us? They're going to revisit their needs and decide, do they want to keep this piece of property? Do they want to sell it? Do they, whatever.
Yeah.
So now basically the piece of property is in their hands. It's off the table right now for anyone to purchase it, but, they may come back in 6 months and say, okay, we're ready, or not.
Yeah.
So that's where it is now.
Yeah.
So, they're expanding in a lot of different locations, I think, from what I
Well,
understand.
yeah, they are. So I mean, that makes a difference too. But I think again, in past conversations, the key is the best use of that property,
Right.
depending on what they decide they want to
Exactly.
do for the community
Right.
as a whole. So
But luckily, as they're deciding, the rec center, that
Yeah.
the park district leases from them
Nothing's
and runs,
changing. Yeah.
nothing's changed there.
Yeah.
The summer classes will still happen. That a lot of kids do summer camps there. Those are still happening because there are sign-ups going on now. So all that will stay in place.
So this year will be pretty
This year
much
is fine,
pretty normal.
as far as- yeah.
Before we have to worry about
Yeah,
it. Good.
yeah,
Good.
yeah,
And we only have a few minutes left, but
That went fast.
it didn't it?
Jeez.
Well,
Jeez.
well, that's because you're fun to talk to.
Well, thank you.
I mean, Andrew's okay, and and Josh, but
Excuse me.
I know you're a trustee, or you're rather executive director on the Forest Hills Foundation for Education. What are some of the things that's happening there?
Well, we have our big race coming up. This is our 7th annual Forest Hills 5K. That's coming up on May 14th.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, 7 years. I can't believe it.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, and that's become a huge community event. We usually get around 2,000 runners. This
Oh, my
year we want
gosh.
to make it even bigger.
Wow.
And this year is a piece of that. I don't know if you're aware, Andy Wolf, do you know Andy?
Mm-hmm.
He's been a coach at Anderson High School for many,
Yeah.
I think it's 41 years. I think
Oh my
he's been.
gosh!
So actually, the Anderson High School track is going to be named after him.
Good.
And there's an event on May 14th in the evening, but in the morning, as part of that, anybody that's has been running a runner for Andy or parents of runners for Andy, we're asking them to participate in the race. Andy will be there. He's going to be the grand poobah of the race.
Marshal,
so
whatever
grand
they have,
marshal.
yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it's it's our regular race, regular course, which always starts and ends at Nagel. All the money goes to support the foundation. But it's such a wonderful community event because it's not only the race, but afterward, there's all kinds of booths set up, and just you go there and you see, thousands of people from the community, and it's a good.
That's
it's a
great.
good
How
time.
does someone find more
You
information
can go to
about it?
the foresthills5k.com and register, or you can also go on the foundation's website, which is fhfe.org. The registration link there. Schools are sending it out, and it's
Good.
easy, and it's very reasonable compared to a lot of races around. I mean, I think alumni, even Anderson and Turpin alumni, they get a special rate. I think it's like maybe $17, $18. So it's really reasonable.
Yeah, that's
and you get a T-shirt.
Well,
So-
you can't beat that.
Yeah, you
Shoot, a
can.
T-shirt costs you that much.
That's right. You get a T-shirt. And they always have really good designs. Beth Davis and Jenny Nyack, who run that for us, they're very good about design every year. They take it very seriously.
Well, that's
so,
an exciting event, though.
yeah,
That's
it is
good.
an exciting event.
Yeah.
So that's coming up. That's our big event.
That's
coming
good.
Up. So,
That's good. Well, if they want to know something, then they know where to
Yeah.
go and look
Yeah.
for it.
thank
Well, I
you.
hope you have a great time doing your position as a trustee, and I think you will,
I think I will.
because you seem like you're really enjoying it already.
I'm
and
joining the people. I am.
It's a good
Josh
group.
and Andrew and I
They are
are
great.
doing just
they are
fine.
great, and they're.
yeah.
And I think that makes a difference too.
Oh, it does.
I think that
it does,
if
and
you-
they're very dedicated. All of us, and Russ was too. Also, I mean, Russ did a lot for our
Russ
community.
did a lot for
our
your community. I mean,
and
he was there for a long time.
long time.
So,
And he,
well, I think it's like I said, it says a lot about you all. It says a lot about the community, and when you're doing good things, that even helps a lot, makes a difference. So I'm looking forward to when you come back to see if you're still smiling and happy.
Really, 3 or 4 months from now,
Yeah, really. I want to see how happy you are.
we shall see. We shall see.
I have
think
a
we'll
feeling
be
you
fun.
will be.
I think so.
Well, I thank you for being with us
Thank
today.
you. It's good to see
It's
you.
really been fun. Good to see you. 'Cause
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
we met on Anderson
Yeah.
Speaks.
Yeah, we did.
That what-
Yeah, for the
no,
foundation.
yeah, for the foundation.
Yeah, we've talked a
We
few
had,
different times.
I know.
Yeah.
I thought we had.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I said, but well, goodness sakes, I know her.
Yeah, right.
I feel like I live here now.
It's like a bad penny. She's just turning up.
Well, thanks for being here, and thank you
Thank
for
you.
what you're doing.
Thank you.
That's great that you're doing, and we thank you for being with us. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope that you make us a part of your day every month for Anderson for Trustee Talks, and that you'll enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of your week. In the meantime, I'm Dick Murgatroyd. We invite you to join us again for our next edition of Trustee Talks, and I think our guest will be Josh Girth. I think it's Josh's turn again, but I'm never sure. And I want to thank our producer, our director, our cameraman, our audio man, and just about anything else you want to do, Shane Reinert, who helps make this all happen. So please come back and join us again. Until then, we'll see you.